Today, we're diving into the story of Ramtin Naimi, the founder of Abstract Ventures. He's become one of Silicon Valley's most talked about seed investors. But his playbook for finding the next billion-dollar company? Well, it didn't come from business school. It came from a place you would probably never ever guess.
So, what on earth can collecting paintings by famous artists teach you about the cutthroat world of venture capital? As it turns out, a lot. The parallels are actually kind of mind-blowing. So let's start where Ramtin did. And we're not talking about a boardroom or a classroom. We're talking about the exclusive galleries and auction houses of the contemporary art world. You know, while a lot of VCs are out on the golf course, Ramtin chose a different kind of hobby. He and his wife got into art collecting, and he pretty quickly realized this wasn't just a passion project. It was basically a masterclass in how markets really work. And look, this wasn't just casual buying, like, oh, that looks nice on the wall. No, he got super methodical about it. He built this system, collecting artists across 3 different generations. This was all about figuring out who really matters, who has that institutional seal of approval, and most importantly, why. And this is where it all clicked. He had this huge aha moment. He realized the way a star artist gets discovered, promoted, and then launched into the stratosphere, well, it's almost the exact same playbook for how a generational tech company gets built. This single idea became the foundation for his entire investment thesis. And that thesis, it's all built on one powerful principle that he saw in both worlds, something you could call the masterpiece power law. So what even is a masterpiece? It's not just any old painting by a famous artist. It's that one iconic piece. The one you can look at from across the room and you instantly know who made it and what they were all about. It's the purest, clearest expression of their talent. And just like Ramtin says here, that's where the value just explodes. Think about it. It's like a power law inside of another power law. The biggest returns don't just come from owning a Picasso. They come from owning one of the best Picassos. And it's the exact same thing with startups.
He also noticed that this journey from total unknown to global superstar follows a surprisingly predictable path. An artist gets spotted by a smaller, up-and-coming feeder gallery. If they get some buzz, they get signed by a blue-chip mega gallery. And when that happens, their prices can literally quadruple overnight. Ramtin realized this was the exact same graduation path that startups take, going from a small seed fund to a Tier 1 VC. So how did he take these lessons and actually apply them? How did he use this art world theory to bootstrap his own firm, Abstract Ventures, literally from nothing? Man, Ramtin's path was anything but a straight line. I mean, he was running a hedge fund in high school, which is wild. But then he hits rock bottom, files for bankruptcy at just 24 years old after a startup he was working on failed. But instead of just giving up, he used that failure as fuel and bootstrapped an incredible comeback. His secret weapon was just pure, relentless hustle on AngelList. And get this number, 47 deals in his first 10 months. That's just insane. He was out there hunting for those feeder gallery opportunities, getting into future giants like Rippling and Solana before almost anyone else knew their name. And in his own words, AngelList was the whole engine. It allowed a complete outsider, someone who was totally broke and just coming out of bankruptcy, to build a real track record and prove he could spot talent way before the rest of the market caught on. All this experience helped him forge a very, very specific co-investment playbook. It's all about finding the right kind of founder and then structuring deals in a way that aligns with those big blue-chip VCs instead of trying to compete with them. Ramtin found this one key signal, this tell, for identifying a true masterpiece founder. The very best ones, they are obsessed with their equity. They're what he calls dilution-sensitive. They will fight you for every single percentage point because they have absolute, unshakable conviction that what they're building is going to be huge. And you can literally see the strategy evolve over time. At first, he was the feeder gallery, right? Almost always co-investing alongside the big dogs. But as he kept proving he could spot the winners, Abstract started to lead more and more deals. He became the trusted source, the one finding the next generation of breakout companies. Okay. But here's the billion-dollar question. Does this whole art collector playbook actually work in the real world? Well,
The results? They pretty much speak for themselves. This right here. This is the ultimate validation. Abstract has the single highest graduation rate of any seed fund out there. That means their companies are more likely than anyone else's to get that next round of funding from a top-tier firm like a Sequoia or an Andreessen Horowitz. They are effectively the premier feeder gallery, and what happens then is just beautiful. It creates this powerful, self-reinforcing loop. The very best founders now come to Abstract because of this reputation. They know Abstract is their best shot at getting from seed to Series A. And that gives the firm access to an even higher quality of deals, which just keeps the whole cycle going. You know, this whole story just goes to show that the most powerful and unique ideas often come from the most unexpected places. Ramtin Naimi found his edge in the art world. So the real question is, where are you going to find yours?